Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the starting 11 show. Manchester United versus Everton. Old Trafford, Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. Everton's last game for 3 weeks due to the FA Cup and obviously an international break. So Everton have got to try and make this one count. Obviously, it's a difficult game somewhere, but we haven't done particularly well in the Premier League era. Just 2 wins. One of those wins being the first year of the Premier League. And of course, you have to just go over 10 years now till Everton last won under Roberto Martinez, thanks to Brian Oviedo. But I think it's about sometimes, creating new records, isn't it? And Everton have certainly got to play the game and not the occasion and not the team. It's not the Manchester United of old. They seem to be struggling at the moment with confidence, they've got injury problems and no real sort of set way of playing. Either they play off the cuff and rely on individual brilliance at times to get them the wins, and we saw that at Goodison early on in the season. So it's up to us to go there and obviously play well and see if we can nick something. We've done it before, as recently as a couple of years ago under Rafa Benitez, so a couple of seasons ago. So let's see if we can go and do it again. So this is my 11 anyway that I think might just be able to do that. In goal, Jordan Pickford. Of course, England's number 1, starting the game. At right back, I had a good think about this one and just where we are at the moment. And obviously Ben Godfrey's in there and he's been doing all right. But I think the last couple of games have shown a couple of issues in his game. Certainly his heading ability of set pieces, I think, has been showing up. He's not the best header of the ball in the world. He just doesn't get up really, doesn't get off his toes. And I think that's cost us in the last 2 games. I think also stopping crosses as well. I think he can get a little bit tight. I'm not saying that's a major weakness, but it's something I noticed last week. So I'm going to bring Seamus Coleman back into the team. I think it's about time. I think, he spent enough time on the sidelines now. He's spent a few weeks, I imagine, getting back up to speed. He's been fit. So I think it's time we put Seamus Coleman back in the side. I think he's still our best right back. He's a leader, and I think it's time to put him back in the side. A left back, Vitaly Mykolenko, probably been I say it every week, our most consistent performer. Probably could have done a little bit better last week for West Ham's second goal, just getting tighter. So Souček, when he brought it down, I think we allowed him far too much space to bring that ball down to smash it in for the goal that beat us. But obviously very consistent this year, and long may that continue. 2 centre backs, James Tarkowski and Jared Branthwaite. Again, very consistent, and just have to keep doing that. And obviously Tarky's leadership skills. Branthwaite will be looking to impress as well. Rumours of an England call up, so you don't want to have a bad game fresh in the memory ahead of a possible squad announcement, or certainly 10 days probably before a squad announcement with the FA Cup in between as well. And he like even last week when he had a decent game last week, even though we've conceded 3 goals. But you want to keep the good memories in mind for the England manager. And I think he's got a good chance of getting in the squad, and I think he's got a good chance of getting into the team, just because he's got all the attributes and he's a left-sided centre-back. So those 2 obviously will start, and that's my back 4 for this game. Moving into midfield, not millions of options, obviously, naturally, but Amadou Onana obviously starts for me, and that's number 6 role. I thought last week he started a little bit shaky, a few misplaced passes, but he always wants the ball, when he's in trouble, when he's got pressure on him. He's not scared of that. I think that shows a different mentality, and I've seen a few things written and said about him this week. I just think he knows he's at a good level, and for me, this is a player who I've seen goes hiding. I don't think he goes hiding. I think he does the opposite. I think he goes looking for the ball. I think he demands the ball. I think he's got the I think he's got the kind of temperament that will see him, or could see him, go, into being a Champions League player, and certainly a good player, or if not a top player in the Belgium side at the moment. Yeah, I just don't. I see a lot of the things he gets criticised for. I just blow my mind. I really do. Sadly, I think there's some people see players with a bit of ambition and think that they confuse that with arrogance. I think he's a player who knows he's a good player and wants to test himself and push himself and maybe push those around him, and I have no issue with that. I think people almost like Everton players to not want to outgrow the club because they feel very, very safe with those players. Almost like Everton is their last destination. I just want the opposite. I want top players. I want to be a destination club for people who want to go up the ladder. And if you can get 3 or 4 of them at once, then maybe they all decide that you're the team that they can achieve good things at. That's what can happen sometimes. I think he's got a bright future if he grabs hold of it and takes hold of it. So for me, he just has to keep doing what he's doing in my eyes. So he's in there alongside him. James Garner, who obviously put an absolute fantastic cross last week for the goal, which saw Beto score, obviously. And drifting into those areas is what we want him. We want him to do. We want him to see him getting onto the ball and not just giving simple pass at times, getting onto the ball and running into the space. And if there's opportunities to sling balls into the box or, play a through ball, then do it. I think James Garner can be too safe at times. And I think last week the goal showed that there is that side of him. I think we all know there's that side of him where he can push on with the ball. Just stop being so safe. I think that's the message to all our players, not James Garner in particular, but if you see space ahead of you, move into it, pick the ball up and run with it. We're not brilliant at passing the ball, so why not just run with the ball and put some good balls into the box? So he starts obviously alongside Amadou Onana, and ahead of them Abdoulaye Doucouré, and he's not really caught fire yet in the games he's come back in, but let's hope this can be the one. I think last season this was the first game he missed. I think after we drew with after he got sent off. And I think, we missed them massively. We missed them massively in those games. So, hopefully he catches fire and starts taking opportunities. Unlucky last week he had one cleared off the line. Well, he's had one cleared off the line in both of the last 2 games. So now is the time to convert them into goals. On the right-hand side, Jack Harrison, continue. We've got nobody else. And on the left-hand side, Dwight McNeil, because we've got nobody else. If we had Dan Juma, then I would look to change that one way or another and bring him into the side. But sadly, we don't. The manager could be bold and say, well, we're playing with, I don't know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin slightly wider, but he's not going to do that. That's not going to work in our system. So those 2 will play. I just hope that the manager looks at the situation in the game and thinks, I can bring on somebody else earlier in the game to help them out. Someone like Dobbin or whatever, or even move Garner over to the right and have Andre Gomez in the middle or something like that. Whatever it takes, whatever we need to do, we'll wait and see. But those 2 will definitely start for me. And finally, the most contentious position on the pitch in the last few weeks, obviously that's the centre forward position, which obviously I've been favouring Dominic Calvert-Lewin, just mainly because of the style of play and because we like going long. But obviously the manager changed that last week. He played with a little bit more possession and put Beto up front. Obviously he missed the penalty, which was unfortunate, but then he scored a goal. So I think Beto has to continue, doesn't he? I think if you score a goal in this team, you deserve to play. So, Beto will continue up front, and hopefully Dom will come off the bench at whatever point in the game and add something to the game, because the challenge has been laid down in front of him now. It will be interesting because I don't think we can play it the way we played last week. And, use, obviously, if we go long, then it's going to test better in a different way. But we'll wait and see. I'm sure the manager's got a plan, and I'm sure whichever player fits that, the better. I think Dom fits going long, but Beto has scored, so we'll wait and see what the managers decide. But that is my starting 11. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know who you'd have in this Everton side. And yeah, we'll see at 11:30 on Saturday morning who the manager's gone for. There you go. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more videos, daily live exclusives, and videos with no ads, and podcasts with no ads, join us over on Toffee TV Premier. The link is in the description, and the QR code is coming up on the screen now. See you later.